All right. So, welcome all of you to Math 95 120. I am your instructor. My name is Adam Kepke. Um, Obviously, this is like not the way that I wanted to start the class. Many of you, this is your first class at UNLV. So let me start by just saying welcome to the university. The university did not expect this to be the way that we were going to start either. Okay. I'm really more personable. I would love to see all your faces in class and be chatting with you guys and learning about you one-on-one and having you guys converse with each other and doing all that. But obviously we live in this crazy time where we have to try to make life as normal as possible with what we got, which is all virtual. So I'm going to do what I can to make that as normal as possible and be flexible also. I realize that having a place to go to school is different than trying to learn in this way. And so there's some level of flexibility that has to happen there in terms of how and when you learn. And so just know that. Number one, I'll tell you, I will not have you guys get on for live sessions every day because I don't necessarily think that that's going to be super beneficial. Does that mean that you can't reach out to me at 8:30 on a Tuesday and be like, hey, I got a question about this? Of course not. You can certainly reach out to me. In fact, I hope you do, but you won't have to do this regularly. The days that we will meet virtually will be restricted to days that we review material. So at the end of each theme, there are 4 themes. At the end of each theme, we'll have like a meeting day. When we review for exams, those will be live. And anything that's live like this, I will record and I'll post online in case you can't make it. You can always go back and watch it, or in case you got to get up while we're meeting live to deal with one of the children or just to do whatever, you can always go back and watch this video at your own leisure. So just know that. That's number one about this class is, yeah, we lose that face-to-face component, which I really appreciate, and like it's a big part of me being a teacher. But the benefit to that is that you get this recorded process where you can kind of learn at your own pace, whereas in a physical lecture, it flies by and then all of a sudden you're in your next class and you're like, wait, what was he talking about? Here you can kind of go back and watch the video again of me talking about these kinds of things. So there's a benefit to that. I should say that. So welcome to the university in the remote fashion. If you have some face-to-face courses, make sure that you look through all the material as far as what's to be expected to you in the face-to-face class, because all my courses are remote, so I'm not necessarily sure how that goes. But yeah, just make sure that you're all informed on all that stuff. Like I said, my name is Adam Kepke. You can just call me Adam. I can certainly relate to you in this regard. I too am a student, believe it or not. So I was born and raised in Vegas. Go Knights. I got my bachelor's degree in math at UNLV many years ago. This is my 8th year, by the way, teaching for the university. So I got my bachelor's degree in math a long time ago. And then I got a master's degree in mathematics with an education emphasis, probably about 6-7 years ago. And then I'm a 3rd-year PhD student now. So I'm going the full professor route here soon. And, I was teaching as a grad student when I was getting my master's degree for the university. As soon as I got my master's, the university hired me on to teach full time. And then I realized that I really wanted my PhD, so I decided to go back to school and have kids at the same time because I thought life wasn't chaotic enough. So why not have 2 kids real quick, get a PhD, teach full time, all that sounds like a good idea. And then have COVID come in and, take care of a dad and in his 80s and, let's just throw it all in there to make it as complex as possible. So the moral of that is I can relate to you guys as a student. Okay, I'm a student too. I have class night at 4, where they're going to Zoom and tell me all about the 7 books that I have to read for the semester. So, but I should be finishing my PhD hopefully late next year, around Christmas of next year. So I will be in the tunnel when you guys graduate and you walk out the tunnel and all the professors are there in their robes cheering you on. I will be there when it's your turn as well. Okay. For those of you who are seniors, maybe not, but everybody else, I'll be there for you. Okay. And I want to see your faces there. I've already seen many faces in that tunnel, but it'll be more rewarding when I have my hood on and I'm the full professor too. So just like you, I have my own goals. We're all heading in the same place, right? Graduation. So how do we get there? We got to go through this hurdle. This course is 5 credits, okay? It was designed over the course of many years, and I was very instrumental in its creation. So about 4 years ago, the math department came to me, the undergraduate coordinator in the math department came to me and said, Math 120 is not doing what we want it to do. It's not serving the students well. The students are not having a good experience in there. The advisors don't think it's an important class. The pass rate is not good. We need to just change everything. So I spent about 6 or 7 months with her, and we threw the book out. We did everything different. We said, what sucks about this class? Let's get rid of it. What do we want the students to learn? What are barriers to their learning? Let's just redo the whole thing. So we redeveloped Math 120 and made it a whole new course. Once that was done, we did a pilot, obviously, made sure it worked, got great feedback. Then I went and I changed the course that leads to Math 120, which is Math 95. I looked at Math 120, I said, let's write a list of everything that you need to know to be good in Math 120. I built a course from scratch, basically, called it Math 95. That was years ago now. Then the university decided we want students to be able to get through both of these classes in one semester. We think it's really important. Instead of doing 95 in the fall and 120 in the spring, why don't they just get through it all at once? So that's what you guys are in now. It's still in its pilot phase, which means it's a work in progress. I was the first person to run a pilot for this course over a year ago. Now we have like 8 or 9 different versions of this class that are running to see what works and what doesn't, okay? So there are other Math 95 120 CXs out there. They are not gonna look the same as this one because this class is in pilot phase. We're all learning out of the same book. We're all teaching out of the same exams, the final and all that. But the way the class looks is still being developed. So if you have somebody else that you know that's in this course that may not that's in with a different instructor, it may not necessarily look the exact same. So I just want to first just kind of give you that too. Okay. So I want to show you guys in Canvas, Web Campus, what it looks like, what the course looks like, what you're going to be asked to do. Obviously, we're going to go through the syllabus, which is the most important document for the semester. It runs through all the things that are expected of you, all the rules and regulations and everything else. So if this is your first class at the university, I'll also tell you, make sure that you look at your syllabus in all of your courses, okay? It's really, really important. That's going to tell you all the important information if you're ever unsure about how the grade is being calculated or when things are supposed to be done. That's the first place you want to go, okay? All right. I'm going to share my screen here in a minute. So if you have to interrupt me with a question, just unmute and ask me. Otherwise, I won't be able to see the chat window or any of that stuff here in a second, okay? All right, so let me jump on there real quick. It'll share screen. Sorry, I have a bunch of crap up in the background, so you don't need to see all that. Okay. So when you log into Web Campus, this is the first thing that comes up. It shows all of your published courses. Of course, you probably don't have this many published courses because you're not a psycho like me who needs to be like taking too much stuff. So you have 2 different cards for this course. You have your, by the way, I use this view. This is the card view up here in the dashboard. You may have another view that you have posted up, but I like the card view. So this is what's shown when you first log into Canvas. These pictures right here are all cool things that I plan on seeing during this semester since I don't have to meet face-to-face. These are Arches National Park, and you guys are, what are you guys? You guys are Bryce Canyon National Park. You guys are B, so Bryce Canyon. And notice that I put the picture on this one, and I did not put the picture on another card that you guys have, which is the 95 CX. So one thing about this class is that it's 95 and 120 at one time, okay? The class is fused together. It's not necessarily you're gonna learn 95 on these 2 days of the week and you're gonna learn 120 on these 2 days of the week. No, that's not how it works. It's all one class that you're gonna be doing 4 days a week. It's the prep material and the 100 level material concurrently. So it's all mixed together. To make it so that it's not confusing for you in Canvas, I will put all of the course materials in this card, the one with the cool picture on it. And this other card over here is only going to house non-content material. Like I'll put some stuff in there for like test taking strategies, study skills. I'll put the grade for your 95 class in here. So even though it's kind of one blended class, you will earn two separate grades. You will earn a pass or fail for the 95 portion. The 95 portion doesn't count towards graduation. That's like the prep class. And then you'll earn an actual letter grade for the Math 120 portion of the course. That's the part of the course that counts for credit. That's the part that you need for graduation, okay? So I will put all of the important course information in the Math 120 CX folder, okay? So when you go into Canvas, just remember, the one with the cool park picture has all the cool information. When you click on this right now, this is what you're gonna see. It has our course introduction theme right here. And then as time goes on, you can't see this stuff right here, but you'll be able to see more information that's gonna come up. It'll see an objective, and it'll have like a date here, and it'll show you the things that are gonna be required for you to do during that period of time, okay? Like I said, the most important thing that we're gonna look at today is the syllabus. I will also tell you that this first week, we're not gonna have any mathy content. Teaching and learning remotely has its own barriers in it embedded. Just how the hell do I navigate through this material? Where do I go to answer this question? I forgot about this that's supposed to be due, et cetera, et cetera. Where do I find these things? So this first week, I just want you guys to get used to navigating through the course, making sure you know how to access course notes, where to go to take the homework, how to contact me, all of that stuff. How to upload, how to get your exams proctored, all that stuff are the things that I want you guys to be doing this first week, okay? So in here, before we go into what is required of you in the first week, I wanna look at the syllabus. And again, this is that document that should be in every class what you're looking at, okay? Actually, you know what, I don't want that. I wanna be able to see this side. No, I take that back. Now it got all funky. Right. Hold on. There we go. Okay. So here's our syllabus. Course information, this is our semester, fall 2020. There's just one syllabus for both courses, 95 and 120 has one textbook, one course syllabus, all of that. Again, it's fused together. The reason why you registered for it in two separate courses is because of the grade, because you're gonna be getting a separate pass-fail grade for 95 and then a letter grade for 120. Here's our class. We meet Monday, Friday, 8:30, 9:45, Tuesday, Thursday, 8:30, 9:20. Again, this class is remote, so you're not going to be required to meet virtually like this, except for, I would say, a handful of days over the semester, okay? Here's my name, it's Adam Kepke. Again, I'm sure if you want to know more about me than what I said before, you can Google me. Here's my office. I'm never going to be there this semester, and my phone number, which I check the voicemail from time to time, but the best way to contact me, of course, is via email. Send me an email right here. It comes to my phone. I have my phone with me wherever, so I'm always available that way. If you contact me during class time, I'm probably going to reply to you almost immediately. And if you contact me outside of class time, you can pretty much guarantee to hear from me within 24 hours. If you don't hear from me within 24 hours, be concerned for my safety. No, I'm just kidding. Don't be concerned for my safety, but reach out to me again, because like I said, I'm usually really quick, and I get a lot of emails with 130 students. Plus, like I said, I'm a student myself, so I'm getting those emails. Plus, I'm a coordinator for courses as well. In addition to 120 CX, I'm also a coordinator for Standalone 95. So I wear a lot of hats. I get a lot of emails. So if you don't hear from me right away, just email me back. The webpage, everything's going to be through Web Campus, okay? And again, use the 120 CX course in Web Campus to access all our information. My office hours are here. I'm available before this class and also Friday by appointment. Just reach out to me ahead of time if you want to meet with me virtually. Most stuff I can answer online via chat. If you have some stuff that you want to work out, like some questions, and you need me to like actually see what I'm writing, stuff like that, just email me. We can make an appointment. I can either meet up with you via Zoom or Skype. I will say we did Zoom now, but later on in the semester, I may have to switch to WebEx because the campus, the university doesn't really like me using Zoom, I think. I think that they have some stuff going on. So hold on, I got stuff in me. So yes, you're gonna need one book for both courses. It's the same book. You'll get one book, both courses. Sorry, I just saw this chat going on and I missed it. I also actually need to stop sharing one more time really quick and just look and see if I have anybody in the waiting room. I don't actually. Surprisingly, I don't have anybody in this waiting room. All right, cool. Let me share the screen. All right, cool. So let's see, what else? The department's phone numbers here if you want to call them and tell them how great or terrible the job is. Here's the catalog description. I'm not going to get into great detail about content today. You'll have plenty of opportunity to hear me talk about that stuff over the semester. But again, I rebuilt the course with the idea that I want to know, what do you need in real life when you leave this class? Most of you guys are involved in majors that aren't going to need a ton of mathematics other than whatever hurdles they tell you you need to jump, or whatever hurdles you jumped before you got here, right? So what math are you going to need in your everyday life? That's the stuff I wanted to cover in this class. And so we're going to cover, obviously, real numbers. We're going to cover things that aren't even math related in the beginning. Well, what you wouldn't think are math related, but stuff like logic, which is the basis of mathematics, and building arguments. That stuff is math based, and it's stuff I want you to know when you leave this class. So it's in here. We're going to talk about unit conversion so that you convert things well and get an idea of rates and analysis of that. We're going to talk about financial mathematics later on, things like buying a house and a car and credit card debt, stuff like that. Things that I want you guys, like I said, to use not only in your major and whatever you're using for your undergraduate degree, but even after you leave college, stuff that you're going to say, hey, I learned this math in college, not because my major told me to, but because Adam said, hey, I needed to know this, and I'm super glad I learned it because I'm using it all the time. I still get emails from students from years and years ago that tell me, hey, I was looking at this logical fallacy and it made me think of you, or I was doing this, budget for myself and it made me think of your math class. So those are the most rewarding things, when you know that students are taking things away, outside of, this structure or this construct of college. There are no prerequisites for this course. You all got here because something told me, or told the university, that you, for one reason or another, needed some preparation before you were ready for a math class that counts for credit. What that translates to me is that at some point in your math experience, you likely ran into some sort of a hurdle. Maybe you had a math teacher that was just really bad, or maybe you moved from one city to another or one school to another, and the level of math instruction or the place where you were supposed to be at was a real big disconnect. Or maybe you were really good at math and you just got super bored and stopped paying attention. And one day you looked up and you were like, damn, I don't know what's going on anymore because I haven't been paying attention. A number of reasons. One of those reasons that may have caused you to have a hurdle in your math career is what allowed you to register for this 5-credit course instead of a regular 3-credit 120 course. Standalone, I shouldn't say regular, a standalone 120 course. So this class is going to come with the regular Math 120. Again, it comes with one textbook, and that textbook covers all the Math 120 stuff. In addition, there will be lectures before you cover that material. That's the preparation stuff that you need to know before we jump into that, okay? And that's where that 95 component of the class comes in. So the textbook is only recommended, it is not required. When you buy an online account for your homework, which is required with Pearson, MyLab, and Mastering, it comes with an e-text so that you have access to the book without buying the physical textbook, okay? If you went on the online bookstore, again, I sent this email out to you guys last night, but if you went onto the online bookstore and noticed that there were all these different options for this textbook, really the top one, the most expensive one, comes with the access and a physical book. Like I said, you don't need the physical book because the online access comes with a e-textbook. So really all you need to do is buy either one of the lower two in the list. The very bottom one, the cheapest one, is going to give you access to the course for this semester. Basically at the end of this class in 15 weeks. Once this class is over, you won't be able to log back in and look at your My Lab or Mastering. So you're taking a small risk and saying, I'm going to pass this class, because if I don't, I'm going to have to buy this access again. If you choose the middle option, it gives you online access for the life of the textbook. So if you want to go back and look at material like the stats stuff that we did, maybe you take a behavioral stats class later in your major, or you want to just go back and look at some of the other material as you're studying, maybe for a grad entrance exam or something, then you would want to choose that second option. And then again, the third option, the one that's about $175, comes with the physical text. So I hope I was able to answer some questions about that e-text and the physical text and what's required of you through the bookstore. But again, I'll take questions on all this stuff later. There is a calculator also that is mandatory. I recommend that you get this first one of the two that are listed. You can buy it through the bookstore, or you can get it on Amazon for between $15 and $20. The reason why I want you to get this specific calculator is because during the lectures, I'm going to be using that calculator to explain how I'm using the input, stuff like that. There are some, later on, there's some really difficult formulas that we have to do where you want to have a calculator that you're really proficient with. That being said, I don't want you to use your phone calculator, even though you may be really good with your phone calculator, because there's certain things that your phone calculator isn't going to be able to do that you're going to need this calculator to do. And also, the department does not want you to use a graphing calculator because it can add stuff, do some extra things than programming that we would rather you not be able to do on an exam. So I highly recommend getting this calculator as soon as possible. Again, Amazon or the online bookstore through UNLV, they're both available, Target, anywhere. One of these two are recommended, but I'll be using this first one, this Texas Instruments one, this TI 30XS. So if you have like an 89 or whatever, a graphing calculator, don't use that guy. You want to use a lower version one of that. Okay, I'll be using those during the lectures. So we get into the meat and potatoes of the class. Hold on one second. Let me check and see if there's questions. Oh, cool. You guys are all chatting it up together. You guys are so good. See, I like seeing that. So I don't even have to look at the group chat. And really quick, let me make sure we don't have anybody in the, no, nobody in the waiting room either. Awesome. Okay, cool. So here's the breakdown for your grades. Again, you're getting a pass or fail grade for Math 95. The threshold is a 73%. To get a 73 or better in the 95, you pass. Great job. You move on. If you get lower than that, then you do not pass the 95. Then you're going to also get a grade for Math 120. That'll be a straight up letter grade. Okay, that's the one that goes on your transcript, that goes towards your degree. It counts towards your GPA, all that good stuff. Okay. The reason why it's broken up that way is you may learn enough of the preparatory material, but not necessarily pass the regular class. And so if that's the case, then you get an S, you move on in the 95, and then you don't have to take all 5 credits again. You would just take a standalone 3-credit, 2-day-a-week Math 120 if that were the case. But that's not going to be the case for any of you, because frankly, you're all going to pass, right? Right. No, frankly, I really do have really good pass rates compared to the rest of the university, and it's not on accident. It's because I'm really, really engaged with my students. So I want you guys to reach out to me. I want you to feel like if things aren't going well, you have somebody to contact. I've learned that is honestly the most important thing in teaching. Is students are all going to learn at a different rate. Students are all going to have questions on different things. But if you know where to go when you feel stuck, you avoid those like endless hours of or minutes, I guess, of looking through material and wasting time and getting frustrated. And those are the times when school sucks, okay? When things are not going your way, when you're trying to upload a file and they won't upload for you, or you're trying to learn expectation and it's just not making sense or whatever. I want you to know that you can reach out to me during those times. So like I was saying, the breakdown for the 95 portion of the course is right here. You'll have homework online. They will be called prep homeworks. Those homeworks will be worth 20% of your grade in the 95 portion. You'll have 2 exams in this class before the final, and each of those are worth 25%. And then your final exam is worth 30%. So that's how your 95 grade is going to be broken down. The exams, I'll mention right now actually, are going to be two-part exams. The exam will have a part 1 or part A, which will just cover the preparatory material. And then you'll have a part B exam, and that will cover the 120 material. So each exam that you take, you'll actually be taking two separate exams over like a 24 or 48-hour period. And then we have the Math 120 material. Again, you'll have two tests, just like you did in Math 95. You'll also have two projects. So those two projects will go hand in hand with the two tests. And so we'll talk more about those projects as they come out, but they're very much like college paper based. They're going to have math involved in them, but you will physically write them up like a college paper. Okay. And I'll give you examples of them so you can see what people have done in the past, so that you're not like floating around unknown. But the idea is that you'll be given some math based ideas, and you will do some research and crunch some numbers, and then you'll write up a nice paper about that. For example, the first project, you'll be given some kind of scenario about how much money you make and credit and all this different stuff, tons of information, and you'll go and you're going to buy a house. So in addition to the two tests and the two projects, you also will have a mini project or / participation average. Mini projects are given at the end of each chapter. There are 9 chapters, and there's one chapter that's really long, so there's actually 2 mini projects in there. So you have a total of 10 of these over the entire semester, and they're like handouts in a face-to-face class traditionally. They're handouts that cover all of the important concepts of the chapter. So they give you an opportunity to be practicing important problems and doing some more applicable work, other than just like, hey, solve this problem. So usually we do those in a group setting in class, where I walk around and I kind of, help you out with what you're doing. Obviously, that is going to be the most dramatically different part of the course this semester, because we're not face-to-face, but there will still be some level of interaction as you do those mini projects with one another and with me, so that so that you'll still get some opportunity to work independently, but also bounce ideas off of each other for those. The lowest one will be dropped. And again, you'll get more information about the mini projects as the semester is going on. Again, this first week, there's no content. It's just kind of navigating through material. And then the homework for the 120 portion is broken up into 2 parts: reading checks and actual homeworks. So each section in the book will have homework assigned to it. The homework assigned to each section will consist of a reading check, which you're going to do before we cover it. You're going to be asked to skim through the material just so that you know what's going to be covered. And then you're going to submit a reading check online. The reading checks are only 2 questions, and they're multiple choice. So they should not be taking you long to do. Most students get them done in under 15 minutes. The idea is skim the material ahead of time so that you're not taking the reading check over and over again. I believe you can take the reading check somewhere between 3 and 5 times, but if you read the material ahead of time, you only have to take the reading check once, okay? But you're not going to have to answer questions or solve any math problems in the reading check. It's just going to be asking you if you understand what you read. Then there'll be a lecture that's going to be a combination of things. Me in front of a whiteboard, a PowerPoint with me talking in the background, all sorts of different recorded lectures that you can watch at your own pace that are going to be available. Once you have watched that video and you've learned the material, then you'll be working on the actual homework in My Math Lab. That's when you'll go to this other portion of the online homework, which is the actual quote unquote homework. That's when you'll actually be practicing the problems online. So that's how the course is broken down. Like I said, there'll be 2 tests. Your first test for this class will be like October 9th, and your second test will be likely the Friday before Thanksgiving. So the week before Thanksgiving, you'll take your second test. And then the week of Thanksgiving, we'll have a loose week where you just review that exam. The week after Thanksgiving, is study week for the university. For those of you who are new to the university, study week is when all the instruction is done, but before final exams. There's a week where nothing is due. You just show up to class, and the teachers basically get you, well, you don't show up to class, but you show up, you log in, and the teachers get you ready for the final exam. So the week after Thanksgiving is study week. We will just be doing recorded videos for the exams, getting ready for the final. And then that following week, you'll take the final exam. The day of the final exam will be known probably later on. I'll send you something in the announcements to let you know, but there'll be an open window for you guys to be taking that. For the reading checks and the homeworks online, I will drop the lowest 2. Like I mentioned before, the mini project, I'll drop the lowest 1. So there's no extra credit in this class, but there is that, oh man, I did terrible on this, or oh, I totally forgot this assignment. That's where that leniency comes in. So don't take advantage of that and be like, oh, this is the one where I'm just going to not do it, because at any point in the semester, something really could happen where you're not able to do it, and then you're going to count on that. So make sure that you're working diligently, and if something goes wrong, you know that you can fall back on that. Also, if your online grade is 80% or better at the end of the semester, I will replace your lowest exam grade with your final exam grade, okay? So that's what this statement down here, the little asterisk, was saying, is that one of your first 2 exams goes bad, but you make it better on the final, I'll replace that grade with the final exam grade. And here's the grade breakdown. It's just traditional grade setting. Obviously, reason why you need a 73 or better in 95 is because you need a C or better to move on. The learning outcomes are available down here. I'm not going to go into great detail on them. I'll let you read that on your own. But there are 4 themes in the course. So our first theme covers chapter 1 and 2. We're going to begin this on Monday of next week. And we start with the logic, the things that built math. The order of operations, add, subtract, multiply, divide, like all that stuff. And then after we cover that, we're going to go into chapter 1, which is all about logical fallacies, deceptive arguments, elements and sets, Venn diagrams, and building arguments. So this first chapter doesn't have a lot of mathy content in it, like a bunch of numerical stuff, but just know it's coming. It's the background, it's the logic behind what we're going to need thereafter. The second part of this theme is all about unit conversion. So we're going to do a bunch of unit conversion stuff and solving problems that involves unit conversion as well. Rates and analysis of that also. So that's going to be that first theme. We'll cover that first theme over a period of time. I'm going to show you guys the schedule here in just a minute. But once we do that, when we're done with that first theme, then we'll have another live meeting where I'll answer questions that you may have at that time, or go over some important examples in a live setting, just to make sure that we've covered all of our bases in that first theme. And then you'll go into theme 2. Again, I'm not going to go into all the information for what these are. I'll go over those later. But your first exam, that first week of October, is going to cover theme 1 and theme 2. So chapters 1 through 4 are going to be covered on that first exam. And then you'll have theme 3, which is 5, 6, 7. Theme 4, which is 8 and 9. We'll wrap that up in November. And then you'll take that second exam, which covers all of this theme 3, theme 4 stuff, just before Thanksgiving. Here are all these class policies. Some of them come up more than once, so my apologies on that. Your attendance, the cool thing about this class is that you're not going to be required to log in at 8:30, 4 days a week and be there. But that doesn't mean that there's no attendance policy at all. There is a place where I look in this little button over here called people. Oh, no, sorry. Yeah, in this little button over here called people. And it tells me how long you've been logged in for, when you're logging in, what you're doing when you're logging in, all of that stuff. So I'm interested in that. I want to make sure that you're working in here. Do you need to be working an hour a day every single day? No, you don't. You work on your own pace, but you shouldn't ever be taking a week off where you're not logging into Canvas or any of that. There will be stuff to do nearly every day, if not every other day. So this first week is all about setting up your schedule to see what works best for you. And maybe you set up your schedule well when you actually made your classes, and 8:30 to 9:45, 4 days a week is when you're going to learn. Cool, make that your time. But if there's another time later on in the day or whatever that's best for you, Just find that time. Make sure that you make it something that you're doing consistently. Don't ever tell yourself, oh, I'm going to be away from school for 4 or 5 days, because it's going to go bad. I promise. You don't
I
want
have a question.
oh man, what did I miss? What, I'm so far behind, right? This class is going to go by fast. So make sure that you're doing that. We talked already about the calculator. Make sure you get that calculator, one of the 2 approved ones. I really like that TI though. That's the one I would certainly get.
Mr.
Academic,
Adam,
yeah? Sorry.
you're not sharing your screen.
Oh, you're kidding me. What? Why is this not sharing?
String facts.
Oh my gosh. I've been not sharing this whole time. I'm so sorry. You guys been looking at my face? Sorry here. So our syllabus, oh my gosh, I'm so sorry. Our syllabus has the evaluation assignment for the 95 material. It also has the evaluation for the 120 material. This is the stuff that I was just showing you. Okay, your mini projects and all that. Our learning outcomes are here. It's broken up into theme. We will meet again when theme 1 is concluded. That won't be for a few weeks though. We will start this material on Monday. At the end of theme 2 is when we'll have our first exam. Okay, class policies. Attendance, you should be working in Canvas regularly. Calculator, make sure that you're using one of the 2 that we already talked about. Academic integrity, please don't cheat. You're only really cheating yourself, right? The idea with cheating is that at some point you could probably get away with it and no one's gonna know. There are people who are cheating every single day. The problem with cheating at the university level is that you eventually are really just cheating yourself. You could probably get through the entire 4-year degree in some form or another cheating. But the problem is you're going to get a degree and then you're going to go out in the workforce and you're going to have no idea what you're talking about. And you're going to spend 3 months bouncing around from job to job. And people are going to expose you for the fraud that you are when they ask you to do things that you should know and you don't know. And then you're going to have wasted years and years of your life and thousands of dollars of money getting a degree that means nothing because no one's going to hire you because you have no idea what you're talking about. So this is the place, if you ever were cheating before, where you should just put it aside and say, you know what, I got to rely on my good old brain from here on out, because otherwise I'm going to put myself in a situation where I'm in trouble. So sorry, I'm going to look through the chat window real quick to make sure. I will talk about all the materials. Don't stress about all that stuff. Here's all you guys yelling at me for not sharing. He's just talking. Yes, I'm just talking. I apologize, y'all. I didn't realize that I was not sharing screen at that time. Thank you for whoever jumped on there and yelled at me. So that's the point on academic integrity. So what's that? So for homework, an access code is going to be purchased at some point in order to receive all of your credit, okay? Your homework online is going to be assigned and graded using this MyLab and Mastering. If you look over here on the side in the Canvas bar, you may have Canvas pulled up right now. It probably wouldn't be the worst thing in the world. This button over here, MyLab and Mastering, is where you're going to click to do all of your online homework for the semester, okay? When you get an online access code, like I mentioned before, it's going to come with an e-text, so you don't need the physical text and the access code. The course materials that you need really is just this access code and the calculator. When you click on this, actually, I'm going to click on it right now real quick. When you click on this, I got to open it. Mine looks different, I think. When you open this, it's going to ask you to read. Oh no, this is not what you see right away. This is after you register. Hold on. Aha. So when you click on this, I already had it open. When you click on this the first time, it's going to ask you to create an account. It's going to ask you to register for this course. Okay. You'll create an account right here. You'll put in an email address that you use, a username, put in whatever password. Sorry, Safari's trying to give me some password. Your first name, your last name, okay? Once you create this account the first time, you will not have to create this account again. You'll just click on the MyLab and Mastering link in Canvas. Sorry, let me make sure Canvas is open still. Come on, Canvas. What is happening right now? Anyways, so once you create this account the first time, you'll put in this information, you'll click create an account, and then it's going to ask you how you want to get access for this course. There are 3 ways on the first day. If you already have purchased your course materials, then you should have a physical, like a cardboard handout that has the access code. It's going to ask you for that access code, and you'll type it in once you click create an account. If you have not gotten that, there'll be a link that you can click on where you can purchase it right there. So you don't need to go to the bookstore or do any of that. You can just go through this process of creating an account and you can buy it at that time. If you don't have your financial aid or your waiting on that material to come in so that you can buy that stuff, you still go through this process of create an account. But once you click on this button, at the very bottom of the next screen, there will be a place where you can request temporary access for 14 days. That's going to allow you to go online and do your homework and be able to work on this stuff while you're waiting for that to come in, okay? Let me switch this real quick. Make sure I don't have any other questions. Yes, leave at any time once you have another recording, okay? If you have something else to do, you just go. And remember that I'm recording all this. I'm going to share it on Canvas at the end, okay?
So you're using a Pearson app. If we've used this before, we just use our old login?
Yes, sir. Let me actually go back from this one. When you, actually this will be the first page that comes up when you click My Lab and Mastering. And when you click I accept, oh, it's going to be stupid now because I've been in this page too long. But when you click I accept, it asks you for your information to log in if you already have an account. If you don't have an account, you'll click on create an account at that time. Okay?
All right. Thank you.
Sorry, this is being on to Canvas. What is going on right now? Right. Sorry about that. Okay. So let me just see this real quickly. Go back. Right. When you click on My Lab and Mastering over here, it'll ask you to create an account. Oh, I'm not in student view. That's why it's being so weird. Hold on, one more time. So yeah, this is what your guys' view looks like. Mine has a bunch of extra stuff in it. So right now, this is what you can see. Your first week of the class, you're going to be asked to just look through theme 0, the course introduction. This is all I want you guys to do for the first week. And I'm going to talk to you more about what's asked of you in the first week in just a minute. Normally, when you click on My Lab Mastering for the first time, this comes up. You'll click on Open My Lab. You'll agree to all this stuff. And then it'll ask you for create an account stuff. Or if you already have a login, this is where you'll sign in. So if you already have a login for Pearson because you've used it for something else, this is where you will go. If not, go to create an account. This information comes up. When you hit create an account, it'll ask you again for all the login information for registering for the first time. Okay, so again, if you have more questions on that, reach out to me. I have tons of stuff, resources for you guys to look at. When you go into Canvas, if you guys have other questions about the syllabus, you can just click on syllabus right here. It also shows you stuff that's due throughout the semester. It gives you a link to the syllabus right here, and then also a link for the calendar, which we're going to look at in a second. Oh, it's mad at me because my syllabus is already open. Okay, let's see, what else? So academic integrity, don't cheat. Homework, we mentioned before, you'll purchase the online access code through Canvas. Let's see, your makeup policy, there are certain reasons why you are given an excused absence for, sorry, my daughter's reasons why you're able to make up an exam or something that was due are UNLV extracurricular activity, medical, religious, or military, okay? You send me an email with some documentation on that stuff, I fill out some form through my department, and then we talk about the makeup together. And they're usually taken within 2 days of the exam. Okay. And yeah, you'll get one of these makeup for a request for a makeup exam if you need it. For your assessments, exam 1 and exam 2, they will be conducted online, and you will be proctored through this Respondus lockdown browser and monitor. It's given to you in Canvas, okay? When you go to take an exam, it will walk you through all of the process of using this. Because I don't want you guys to use it for the first time on an exam, this week, you're gonna take a practice quiz, which really all you gotta do is do it and get credit for it. There's no right or wrong answer. But the idea is it's gonna allow you to walk through the process of using the online proctoring system that's gonna lock down your browser. It's also gonna show you the process of uploading your Scratch work to me so that I can grade your Scratch work. I think all of that stuff are really big hurdles that you normally don't have in a face-to-face class. So this first week, these are the kinds of things that I want you guys to be doing. You're gonna take this practice quiz just so that you're used to submitting material online and knowing that, you know, whatever computer or whatever device you're using for this course is compatible, all of those kinds of things. You're gonna be doing that this week. So obviously you should be working independently. The things that you should have when you take your exam: scratch paper, a writing weapon, a beverage, of course, and then one of the 2 calculators. You can't use your phone during the exam. They're gonna ask you to wave your calculator in the air like you just don't care, so I know that you have the right one, and that show your surroundings wherever you're taking the exam so that there's not, you know, your cousin who's super good at math, like showing you flashcards of all the exam questions or any of that, okay? Exams are gonna be open over a 3-day window. Just like the videos, I want you guys to find out what times during the week work best for you to be your best. So I don't want you to think, oh, I have to log in at 8:30 to take this exam. No, it'll be open for a period of time, okay? So just make sure that you're doing it during a period of time where you know you're not gonna have to get up and run for some reason, because once it's open, then you're taking it. You know, I'm not gonna be able to reopen it again unless there's some crazy circumstance. Each exam that you're gonna take is gonna have 2 different parts. It's gonna have a part A, which is just gonna cover the 95 prep material of the course. And then it'll have a part B, which is the 120 material. And the reason why is because you're given 2 grades, 2 separate grades for the course. So the exams are gonna be broken up in that way as well, okay? And again, they're gonna be given to you online. You'll take them on Canvas, and then afterwards, you'll submit your homework through Google Drive, okay? You all have a Google Drive associated with your Rebel Mail account. And so just get used to using that Google Drive, because it's not gonna take up memory on whatever device you're using, and you can access it anywhere. And it's very easy if you use that Google Drive to upload your work for me to see it all in one place. There's other issues like when you take a picture and upload, like memory issues, you're trying to upload too big of a file, et cetera, et cetera. So using that Google Drive is gonna be really important. This first week, there's gonna be handouts for you to get used to using Google Drive and uploading your work in that way. This is all about using that lockdown monitor. You can look through this material. It's pretty straightforward. You just log in, you click on the lockdown browser link in Canvas, and it's gonna like set you up, and then you can use it thereafter for every exam or quiz or mini project that you have to take using it, okay? Let's see. Some cool webcam tips here. Definitely look through them. Don't wear a hat. Make sure that your computer's on a firm surface, not like me where I'm rocking back and forth. That's probably super annoying. I apologize. And make sure that you're using a device or a tablet or whatever that you're using that has a webcam in it and that is compatible. That's what this first week is going to be all about. There are computers in the library where Respondus is already installed. So like this week, let's say you're using some computer that's not necessarily compatible, or it's a dinosaur or whatever, and you're concerned, make a plan if you are okay with physically going to campus with social distancing, or you can reach out to the library as far as checking out a computer. There are lots of different options available. So this week is all about making sure that you have all the resources available. And if you don't, you have a plan to access those resources when you need them. Tutoring is available this semester. I don't know if the math department is going to have face-to-face tutoring yet. I want to say no, just because of the climate of the university, but I'm not positive of that. The good news is the Academic Success Center is going to have virtual tutoring available for all students, okay? What you click on this link right here, unlv.edu/asc/tutoring, and that'll show you all of the different programs that they have available. It'll walk you through the process of requesting an online tutor. So if you have questions about the material, that's definitely the first place I would go. Of course, you can reach out to me too. Public health directives is for all the face-to-face classes. Religious holidays policy, if you know you're going to have to miss a class because of a religious holiday, it's excused. You have the first 14 days of class to let me know. We talked about academic integrity. Please don't cheat. You're cheating yourself. If you need to audit this class midway through the semester or something, you realize this isn't working for you, but you still want to hang out and learn the material and not get a grade, you see me, we'll talk about earning an audit. Be respectful of all your classmates in chat and in video, and to me, of course. Copyright, yeah, don't steal things, although I don't think you're going to run into anything like that. The Disability Resource Center, the DRC, is available. If you have a documented disability, please contact them. They'll have you fill out proper forms, and then they reach out to me telling me what accommodations you get. If you've already reached out to them and filled out a form, you'll hear from me by the end of this week discussing what accommodations you have. The final exam, you'll be given more information when the final exam comes out. It's available on my UNLV, usually sometime in October, and it'll tell you more about when we're going to have our final exam, but it's that second week of December, or 2 weeks after Thanksgiving, I should say. Of course, you need your ACE ID and password to log into Web Campus. Without it, remote learning is nearly impossible. Let's see. Incomplete grades are only for students who've completed 75% of the work in a course. Don't worry about that now. If you're kicking butt and something terribly goes wrong that allows you to not be able to finish the course, contact me and we talk about your options. Library has a bunch of resources here. Any of these links are good, especially if you have, resources, questions about resources going virtual. Reach out to me, reach out to the library, reach out to OIT. There's some stuff in here about missed classwork I would have you read. Lastly, Rebel Mail. So you all have a Rebel Mail account. Please contact me using your Rebel Mail account as much as possible, particularly if you have a question about your grade. So something that's secure, like, I have a question about what my grade is in the course, you have to use your Rebel Mail account so I know it's you. Okay. You can also contact me using this inbox thing over here on the side. You can just click that and reach out to me that way as well, okay? Let's see. So that's it for the syllabus. The schedule is here as well. So the schedule is also something that I want you guys to be looking at regularly. It kind of just gives you a rundown. Here's what the schedule looks like now. It is subject to change, especially during this semester where things are kind of up in the air with remote learning. There may be a time where I have to push something later. I'll never pull something up earlier, I don't think. But there may be a time where I have to push something later if I find that we're just a little behind on material, or I feel like it's taking a little longer to get through some of the important stuff. I would let you know ahead of time if I'm editing this at any time. But this is a great place where you can go to kind of just get an overview of what we're doing in the class at any time. Here we are now. This is the 24th. This is our virtual meet and greet right here. Tomorrow, you're going to be looking at theme 0 in Canvas, which I'm going to show you in just a minute. And that's what you're going to be working on throughout the rest of this week. You can see in the blue, it shows you that you have homework due dates. For this class, you have homework due on 2 days of the week. On Sunday at 11:59, these dates right here are all Sundays in blue. And then you have another one over here on Wednesdays at 11:59. So often you'll have material that we cover on Monday and Tuesday, and then on Wednesday night at 11:59, you'll have homework due for that stuff. And then you'll have stuff on Tuesday and Thursday, and then on Sunday, you'll have homework due covering that material as well. So that's kind of the rhythm that you'll get into with the online homework. Monday, Tuesday, we do some work. Wednesday, you got some homework due. Thursday, Friday, we do some stuff. Sunday, you got some homework due, okay? And so all of our homework due dates will be on Wednesdays and Sunday in this class, just to stay consistent, so that you don't have stuff due Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. You don't have to wake up on a Monday and be like, oh crap, what do I do today? No, your homework is always gonna be due in this class on Wednesdays and Sundays, okay? So this schedule kind of gives you a rundown. Again, you can see that the RC is a reading check. You have some reading checks due next week. This isn't this week, this is the following week, before you actually cover the material. This chapter 0 stuff that's here is prerequisite math material that I want you to know before we start 120, like the order of operations, add, subtract, multiply, divide, rounding, that kind of stuff. I want you to know ahead of time, so that's the stuff that you're going to start at the very beginning next Monday. Okay, let me stop sharing. Okay, so let's see. Let me look at my thing here. Intro, check that off. Syllabus, check that off. Course schedule, we check that off. My math lab. So in Canvas, again, that link on the very far side on the left, my lab and mastering, I want you guys to all go and click on that. You could even probably do it while I'm talking, but as soon as I'm done, and we're done with this meeting, go through there and register for the course. That way, if you have any questions between now and like Wednesday-ish, you can send me an email and I can help you get through all of that stuff, okay? Let's see. Any other questions for me at this time? Sorry, I've said a lot at this point. You can just unmute yourself if you want, or you can chat. Either way is cool. You have questions right now.
So we're switching from Zoom to WebEx this semester?
Possibly, yeah. I think that they want me to go WebEx. We don't have another scheduled live meeting date. Hold on, let me pull this quick. Until probably around the 10th of September. No, I'm lying. Sorry. Probably around the 15th of September, like middle of September, will be our next meeting, live meeting date. That's when we finish the chapter 1 material and the chapter 2 material. And you'll know more probably a week, if not more, in advance if we're going to go to WebEx instead of Zoom. But you'll get it. It'll be just like this one. You'll get an invitation and a link and all that stuff. I hate to switch, because especially those of you who just downloaded Zoom. So I'm really sorry. I'd love to keep it with Zoom, but I might get yelled at and they may say, Zoom is not secure. You need to use WebEx. And if that's the case, then we'll have to switch. Okay. Just so.
I have a question. I was just wondering, do we need like a code or something to join for like Google Classroom, or like to turn stuff in on Google Drive or anything?
No. So you'll go through, I'm going to show you guys, I'm going to share screen one last time here in a minute to show you the Canvas. It has some handouts for you guys to go through. But you won't need a code or a class code or any of that to link, because technically you can upload your work through any Google Drive. It doesn't have to be your class associated one. I just recommend using your class associated one so that it all comes from one place. So I'll show you all that stuff here in just a little bit. So yes, all your homework will be completed. All your homework and assignments will be completed in the Math 120 module of Canvas, okay? So the only thing that I'll put in the 95 module is like test taking strategies and study skills, things that are not going to be due. And I'll also put your grade, because remember, you get 2 grades in this class, one for 95 and one for 120. So I'll put your 95 grade in that 95 module, but everything else will go in 120, okay?
I have a question as well.
Sure, go for it.
So just to confirm, we only need one textbook for both classes, right?
Yes. So Math
Okay.
95 was actually made without a textbook. It was made by looking at the material in Math 120, and then I just built a bunch of lectures and handouts and stuff like that for Math 95. So if you just took Math 95 right now, you would actually buy the Math 120 textbook, and then your math teacher would say, you don't need this book, but you're going to need it next semester. So one book. Any other questions?
Yeah, Adam, question for you.
Yeah.
So are you going to send out invites when we do have face-to-face meetings, just to confirm?
Yeah, I think it's probably an easy way to do it. I usually will post it as an announcement on Canvas, and many of you guys have notifications set so that when a new announcement comes, it like tells you on your phone. But I like to be like really thorough. So I might post it as an announcement and email you all an invite. Okay. So just know that if the next time we have a live meeting, you'll get a bunch of like signals from me saying, hey, we have another live meeting. Like I'll put a plane over the air with it like written, and like I'll send you a carrier pigeon with like a little thing like tied to his foot telling you when we're going to meet. And I'll post it on announcements, and I'll make like a Gmail send you, like I'll give you a bunch of different methods of reaching out so that you guys know when and where and how. Okay. Any other questions right now before we talk about first week stuff?
Calculator that you were talking about, do you think you can find that at Best Buy or Office Max, maybe
For
Target?
sure. You can find it just about anywhere. Hold on. Sorry. I have it over here. This dog is laying on it. Sorry. My dog was sleeping on the couch. This is the calculator right here that I recommend, this TI-30XS. I got the blue one. They come in a bunch of different colors, like orange and pink and black and whatever. Just get whatever one that you see there wherever you go. Like, I feel like all the different vendors got like different colors, so they could be like, oh, we have an exclusive one, but you shouldn't be spending more than $20 on this thing. Okay. Somewhere between 15, 20 bucks. And yeah, Target. I saw it at Target. I saw it at Walmart. Just if you have problems finding it, let me know.
Okay.
Any other questions before I show you guys first day and kick you out of here? No? Okay, cool. Sorry for keeping you probably a little bit longer than I thought. Let me really quick, last time, share screen, super fast. First day stuff, and then you're out of here. All right, so when you normally log into Canvas, this is the first page that you will see right now. It shows you the modules. And again, modules can be found over here on the left just by clicking this guy over here if you're ever navigating through Canvas and you want to get back here. I will organize all the material for the course by module, okay? This first module is for this week. Theme 0, it has the syllabus here in case you want to look at it. It has a pre-course survey I want you to take, okay? It has a way of changing your notifications in Canvas. So if your phone has been like blowing up all day because all the instructors are adding all this stuff, you can change what you get notified for on here. You just follow all the information on this preference thing. It tells you what information materials you should buy for this class, just some brief guidelines, some stuff about group work. That is something new I'm going to try this semester. So those of you who are in this class, this is a pilot, okay? This is a class that's new and being built still. So it's not perfect. I'm still trying things to see what works and what doesn't. In a face-to-face class, I would literally have you push your desks together and have you working in groups, but we're not face-to-face, we're remote. So that's something I'm going to be kind of messing with right now. But I might put you guys into groups so that you guys can kind of bounce ideas back and forth off of each other in terms of what you're learning, okay? So click on that, you can learn a little bit more about that. We talked about uploading work, but here's a little thing that you can learn more about how to upload work in Canvas, okay? The live course details are gonna come up. Oh, this probably put WebEx on here, probably still, my bad. Let me get rid of this. But down here, I'm also gonna put the recording of this meeting that we're having right now. Here's a PDF about how to use Lockdown Browser the first time as well. And then there are some assignments here that I want you guys to work on between now and Sunday. A brief autobiography, some questions about yourself, okay? I like to learn about you. One quick question is telling me about you saying, I'm not gonna cheat. And then this one, which is really important, is a practice quiz. It actually has 2 questions in there, and work on them, actually try them, but you don't have to get them right, you know. It's gonna show you how to use your Lockdown Browser and your webcam. It's also gonna show you how to upload your work using Canvas. This thing right here that you're gonna click on, this is where you submit your work for the practice quiz. For every online proctored assessment that we have, you're going to submit, you'll have a button where you submit your work in addition to being proctored, okay? So that is your homework for your first week, okay? And then next week, you'll get an announcement from me and you'll have another theme that's gonna come up. Let me leave the student view so you can see what it looks like. This is what mine looks like, so you have a bunch more stuff. But at the end of this week, when you log in, you'll see something like, which one is it? Here we go. Objective 1, something like this. It'll have some dates on it for when you should be looking at this module, and it'll have, like, you know, an announcement. It'll have the videos that you guys have. Any assignments like mini projects will go here. And then if I want you guys to participate in anything, it'll say, hey, do one of these things as well. If you have any quizzes or whatever, any other material that you have during this time, they'll be broken up into little chunks like this, okay? The most important thing that you'll see mostly in these objectives are the lecture videos, okay? All right, let me stop sharing real quick. Boom. Any last questions before I kick you out of here? No? Sweet. If you have anything that you just want to ask me privately, reach out, or you can stay on here, okay? I'm going to let everybody go. Pop on your camera real quick, wave, say bye to the rest of this class. Thank you all for your first day and for listening to all this. I know it was a ton of material, okay? I'm going to put this recording on Canvas later today. Read through it, send me an email. Just know that you have me as a resource for all of the questions that you have for this course and other UNLV related stuff. And I hope your other courses go well, okay? Have a great rest of your day.